For some reason, a Deontay Johnson tweet from yesterday has gained some traction, has people speculating and talking about it. So I feel obliged to start the show off by mentioning it, and I'll pull up the tweet, and then we're going to move on. In other news, not Deontay Johnson related, the Steelers made some signings. These were to reserve/future contracts. Wide receiver Jamarcus Bradley, defensive back Duke Dawson, guard William Dunkel, linebacker Emeka Egbule, running back Jason Huntley, center Ryan McCollum, defensive back Scott Nelson, running back Master Teague, wide receiver Cody White, and tight end Rodney Williams. Out of these names, there's really only 4 I'd consider notable. Duke Dawson, I don't know if you guys remember this, going back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game this year. We were dealing with a lot of injuries in the secondary, and we picked up Duke, put him on the practice squad. It was kind of intriguing because he was a former second-round pick with the Patriots back in 2018, but since then, he's never really been able to find a good landing spot. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries, and yeah, he never really got a helmet this year. We haven't heard from him, but I can see why we put him to one of these reserve future contracts. And then another one, guard William Dunkel. He was on the Eagles back in the offseason and the preseason this year. Undrafted rookie free agent. The Eagles ended up cutting him before the 3rd preseason game. We had him play in our final preseason game. He was doing some stuff, and then he just stayed on the practice squad for the rest of 2022. Master Teague, he's got an S-tier name in the world of sports. But also, he was doing some stuff for us in preseason. He was an undrafted rookie free agent. A lot of people compared him to the Bus or Barry Foster. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but he had that bruiser running style that made people think of that. We ended up cutting him after preseason, and then we picked him up at some point in the regular season. I think because we were dealing with some injuries in the backfield. Jaylen Warren got hurt. And then whenever Jaylen Warren got back, we never really heard of Master Teague since then. And then the last one is Cody White. He's been with the Steelers in and out of the active roster and practice squad for, I believe it's been like the last 2 or 3 years. He was a receiver for us whenever Ben Roethlisberger was still quarterback. Had some receptions here and there. I'd say would show sure hands. Didn't make any crazy splashy plays, but has stuck around long enough to get at least another chance on a reserve/future contract, and obviously we'll be thinking about him going into the 2023 offseason. So that was some player news. Now let's talk some coaching news. This is the type of news that a lot of people are waiting on pins and needles for. Not only do we have Brian Flores, who is a hot commodity around the league. He's going to be interviewing with the Browns, I believe, today, and probably is going to get some other coaching opportunities. But the real one is Matt Canada. Will he be back? That's the one everyone's keeping tabs on. And in relation to that, we got some confirmation from Brooke Pryor in an ESPN article that Matt Canada is under contract going into the 2023 season. And if you know the Steelers' history, well, first off, why didn't we know this earlier? I feel like a lot of us just speculated on whether he had a contract, a multi-year contract. We just thought it was a 1-year deal. I don't think anyone knew. Most people just wanted him fired and didn't care about if he was under contract going forward. But it does matter just because the Steelers don't really operate in the firing of coaches' way when they're still under contract. Moats has said on the podcast they like to let the coaches see their contract run out, and whether we bring them back or not, that's a whole different story. So this is a point in the direction of Canada will be back for 2023, I would say at least. And here's what Coach Tomlin had to say about Matt Canada's performance and whether or not he sees him coming back.
You know, I thought he got better just like our team got better. I'm not going to speculate about him or anyone as I stand here today. As I mentioned, we fight, and that fight has come to an end. I'm just beginning the process of transitioning in terms of wrapping a bow around it and seeing what 2023 looks like. And so I'm just not there. We got some work to do, but largely I thought he got better in the ways that we got better, and so it was encouraging.
You guys know how I feel. I'm good with bringing Matt Canada back. My standpoint is if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and we saw a lot of good things from this offense in the second half of the season. Matt Canada, I think he got better as a play caller and drawing up the schemes. Kenny Pickett as a rookie quarterback, he got better and better. The offense as a whole It felt like they were more bought in. And also note, it was a young offense. So you have a young offensive coordinator, young quarterback, a young offense, a young offensive line, young weapons. Like, why don't we just keep on building instead of rocking the boat? Now, some people will point to, hey, it wasn't all that good because we could have scored more points or we had some red zone inefficiencies in the second half of the season. I don't put that all on Matt Canada. I think there were a lot of other things at play in terms of players executing the plays out there. Like Mitch Trubisky, you can't throw 3 picks in the Ravens game. That's not on Matt Canada. We would have scored a lot more points there. Field goals being missed, whether it was Matt Wright or Chris Boswell. Kenny Pickett missing some throws that would have been easy touchdowns. Drops for easy touchdowns. Diontae, Pickens, Najee Harris. There were a multitude of those. So, listen, man, I feel like the offense improved a lot in the second half of the year. We were moving the ball up and down the field. We won as a team. We won 7-2. Now I think TJ Watt being back definitely helped, but there's no doubt the offense got better, and I'm good with letting this thing build with Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett. I guess we'll find out an answer at some point this week. I saw this tweet from Donnie Football where he said, in the past, in terms of the Steelers making a decision on their offensive coordinator, it came a week after the season ended. So stay tuned. We'll find out more this week. But if I had to bet, I say Matt Canada's back, and also I am good with that. And then the last thing before we close this out, I just wanted to share this tweet with you guys. If you haven't seen it, this was a tweet by Kevin Dotson where, it's edited to make it look like an album cover. And what do we see? It's the offensive lineman, all with the censor tag over their eyes, and Chase Claypool. Of course, he doesn't have that. He's no longer part of the team. But Kevin Dotson swears that this is no shade at Chase Claypool. It was just because if you were to edit Chase Claypool out of it, then it wouldn't look as cool of a picture. And actually, I agree, because if you scroll down in the comments and the replies, someone did edit it. And it don't hit the same without Chase Claypool being in it. I just thought it would be something funny to share that you guys would appreciate. Dotson probably isn't throwing any shade at Chase Claypool, but it is funny. Considering how everything played out, Claypool gets traded to the Bears. We end up getting basically a first-round pick in return. The Bears only get worse since the Claypool trade. Claypool really doesn't have that much production. The Steelers get better after the trade. So there's all that there, but I'll take Dotson's word for it. Let me know what you guys think of this edition of Big Deke News, though, of any of these topics discussed. Obviously, Matt Canada is the big topic right now that everyone is interested in. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay chilling. Peace.